Hi, my name is Josh Nelson with Healthcare SEO, and on this video I just want to give you an overview of what our program is, what it includes, and why it works so well. I've had the opportunity to talk with healthcare professionals in major markets across the United States. And one of the most commonly asked questions I get is, help me understand how this program works. They've seen our case studies, they've seen how we've been able to help other dental practices, chiropractic centers, eye doctors, and other healthcare organizations dominate the search engines for their keywords in their markets and really increase their new patient flow by more effectively marketing online. They want to understand what's included in our program. So I just wanted to take this video and talk through it and explain it from a high level. It all starts with your website. Whether you're the type of healthcare organization that has been in business for 30 years and never got a website set up, or whether you've been a little more proactive and invested thousands and thousands of dollars getting a really high-end website set up, in either event, it's going to start with your website. We're either going to take over where your last design company left off, or build something for you completely from the ground up. Because in every case, you're going to need on-page optimization in order to make the website really make sense for Google to understand what you do in the areas that you operate in. And in most cases, you're going to need additional content. A typical healthcare organization, like I said, whether you're a chiropractic clinic or an acupuncture center or an eye doctor, typically has between 5 to 10 pages. And home, about us, our services, maybe some information about the doctors, and contact us. And if you have more information, that's great. But that's typically what we find. Now, in our experience working with healthcare organizations and really helping them grow their revenues and increase their new patient flow, we know we need to have a page for each one of the services and each one of the keywords on the website that we want to show up for. So just having those 5 to 10 websites really isn't going to cut it, because you have a variety of services that you offer. And I'm just going to use dentistry as an example. If you're in some other healthcare field, just use this and kind of filter it through your mind as to what you guys do and the different services that you offer. But at a dental office, you don't just want to show up for your city plus dentist, your city plus dental practice, because you do a lot more than just dentistry. As a matter of fact, you have specific services that are more likely to be searched than just dentist. People search teeth whitening, they search root canal treatment, they search broken tooth, teeth extraction, dental cleanings, etc. You get the idea. So you want to make sure you have a page on your website for each one of those different services that you offer. Because if you don't, you're not going to be even in the index on Google for that specific search combination. So what we do, after we've done the on-page optimization and optimized your website for Google and Yahoo and Bing, on the pages you have, we're going to go in and build pages for each one of your services. And from there, we're going to go ahead and build out pages for each one of the different markets that you attract patients from. So just because you have a location in, let's say, Miami, Florida, that doesn't mean you only want to show up when someone types in Miami plus your service or your service plus Miami. You probably attract patients from anywhere between a 5 and 15 mile radius, depending upon the type of specialty that you have. So you want to make sure that if there are little cities in and around that main city that you operate in, that you have the ability to show up for each one of those cities as well. So what we do is we really isolate what cities you attract patients from, and we build pages for each one of those cities combined with your services. And so we build out your website in a typical healthcare organization from 5 pages to several hundred pages, because you want to have a page on your website for each one of your services combined with each one of the cities that you operate in. So mathematically, just make a list of all of your services, multiply that by let's say 5 to 10 cities that you attract patients from, and that's the number of pages that you want to have on your website. And that's really where our program starts. It starts with the on-page optimization, building out those pages, and making sure that you have a placeholder on Google for each one of the services that you offer. From there, if you've done any research on search engine optimization, or you've read our guide, or you've watched some of my webinars and videos, you'll know that just having those pages on your website doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to be ranking on page 1, let alone page 3 or 4 for each one of those keywords. It just means that you have a placeholder. So the next step in order to get your website and all of those pages to rise in the search engine is to get proactive with getting inbound links to your website and to those subpages. Because search engine optimization at the core of its essence is he who has the most quantity and quality of inbound links or other websites pointing to it is going to win or have the best positioning. So we do a lot of things in order to drive inbound links to your website. The first thing we do is make sure that you're listed in all of the online directories. And there's a lot of directories. Ones that we want to make sure we get you in right away are Google Places, Yahoo Local, City Search, Angie's List, Dr. Google, and the list goes on and on. There's probably about 150 major online directories specific to healthcare that you want to be in for two reasons. First of all, it's going to give you exposure on all of these different places that people might be looking for your services. But it's also going to give you additional citations and inbound links to your websites. Again, links are important for placement in the organic section. Citations are important for getting placed on the Google map, which is critical within healthcare. When we type in your city plus your service, inevitably a map is going to populate, and that's what's called Google Places. And there's a whole strategy that we implement around Google Places optimization in making sure that your name, address, phone number are consistently referenced across the web, because that's critical for placement on the map. But the other key component of that is having reviews. I'm going to talk a little bit later about how we're going to help you implement a review acquisition system into your practice. So that's where we get our first source of links, right? Making sure you're in the online directories. The next thing is by competitive link acquisition. And competitive link acquisition is the process of looking online on all of the different companies that are ranked well when someone types in your city plus your service. So we'll be able to go and figure out who's in the top position in your market for the different things that you do. And we'll probably develop a list of 10 to 15 of the top players in your market and systematically look at their websites, figure out who's linking to them, and get those same or similar inbound links pointed to your website. Because again, we know if we can get more of the same quality and quantity of inbound links than the guy that's above you, we can start to outrank him. So competitive link acquisition is a big part of what we do. But the other really critical component for placement on the search engines is content. The internet is an information-seeking mechanism. People are on the web because they want to find information. They want answers to their questions. And Google knows that. And Google wants to serve websites that are providing the best content. And so we need to have a system to be continually creating fresh, new information on your website and driving that via the web. So we're going to become your ghostwriters. We're going to write 4 articles on a monthly basis just that are informational type topics. If you're a dentist again, how to avoid bad breath, what to do in a dental emergency, what are the difference between braces and Invisalign. You get the idea. The whole concept is we got to be creating this kind of content, putting it on your blog, which we'll be setting up for you, and then syndicating that information online. Because what we can do with this content creation methodology is have fresh content for your website, which is key, but also we can take that same content and push it out to article directory websites online. And by doing so, we can take one piece of content, put it out on several hundred different websites, all with links pointing back not just to your homepage, but to all those subpages that we built for you. And by doing that on a consistent basis, that's how we're able to get your practice's website to rise in the search engines and to outrank your competition for all of the different things that you do. So from a search engine optimization perspective, that's really the core focus of our program. But then we also need to look at social media. And most of the practitioners that I talk with will tell me, I hear a lot about social media, Facebook, Twitter, the rapid growth of it, the rapid adaptation of it, but I can't really wrap my hands around how I would use that within my organization, within my practice to help me get more patients or to grow my revenues. And the way I like to explain it is, just stop for 1 second and think about what your number one source of new patients is right now. Where do most of your patients come from? And if I ask that question in a room of 100 practitioners, 90% of them will raise their hand quickly and say it comes from repeat and referral business. You know, patients coming back again and other patients telling other patients. So social media really gives you the power to take that repeat and referral business to a whole nother level. The average Facebook user has 135 friends. So if you can systematically get your current patients and your sphere of influence to engage with you on Facebook, or just go on Facebook and press the like button. By virtue of them pressing that like button, it's almost as if they sent a note out to all 135 of their friends, typically right in your geographic area, and said, hey, next time you need whatever your service is, I know a great company, and this is them. And so you can see how by doing that, that's going to give you exposure to a lot of different patients in your area and grow your repeat and referral business. On the repeat side of the equation, you know, since you've got your patient now pressing the like button, every time they log into Facebook, if you've posted some relevant information, they're going to see you, and it's going to help you remain top of mind. Well, what we do on the social media end of the equation is we set up those social profiles for you. If you've got them, obviously we're just going to brand them for your organization. If you don't, we'll set them up for you. But the ones we want to focus on are Facebook, Twitter, Google+, LinkedIn, and YouTube. And our team will actually be posting to those social media profiles on your behalf on a daily basis. And again, since you've got a system where you're emailing your customers and telling them, hey, thanks for your business, write us a review. We're going to put that in place for you as part of our program. And then you've also got somebody helping you create fresh content that's informational and relevant and put that out on Facebook and Twitter on an ongoing basis. Now you're going to be remaining top of mind. And that's really where the power of our complete internet marketing program comes into place. You're going to be getting new patients because they're going to be searching for what you do in your area on Google or Yahoo and Bing, and you're going to be showing up. And then you're going to be able to retain those patients and get more repeat and referral business from them because you're going to be proactively email marketing them, and you're going to be proactively engaging with them on social media. So that's really where, if you've got all of the different pieces of the puzzle in place, where things really start to grow and things really start to go to the next level. Now, the other critical component of our internet marketing strategy is tracking and measurement. You know, it's a lot of different moving parts, and it can be hard to say, you know, how can we gauge this? How can we tell, you know, whether we're moving in the right direction or not? So we put three critical reports in place. The first report is Google Analytics. And Google Analytics is a free tool offered by Google, but we're going to install it on your website and set up a report that will go to you on a weekly basis. And what it shows you is exactly how many visitors got to your website, what keywords they typed in to get there, how long they stayed. But the real critical thing there is that number, is that volume of visitors getting to your website increasing? And if it is, that's a good indicator. Okay, we're starting to get more people coming to the website that are looking for what we do. The second report is a keyword placement report. And the keyword placement report is really focused more around the search engine side of the equation. Making sure you're showing up for the keywords that you need to be showing up for. So at the beginning of our engagement, what we're going to do is develop an inventory of keywords. Your city plus this service, your city plus this service, your city plus that service. And we're going to develop a really nice inventory of several hundred words that we think your practice should be showing up for on the search engines. And then we're going to plug that into our reporting system, and it will show you on a weekly basis exactly what position you're in on Google and Yahoo and Bing for those keywords. And that really helps you from a high level be able to ascertain, am I moving in the right direction? And the neat part is you'll see yourself, for all of these keywords, move from, you know, I wasn't on the search engine to, hey, I was on page 17 to now I'm on page 11 to, you know, over time, you know, and if you look at our case studies, you'll see our clients tend to dominate the search engines for a large inventory of keywords because our strategy works so well. So you'll start to see yourself move from not being listed to being listed. And that really helps you really gauge the performance of the program. But the third report, which I think is really where the rubber meets the road, within a healthcare organization, no business really takes place until a patient picks up the phone and schedules an appointment. So it's nice to have visitors come to your website. It's nice to have traffic. It's nice to be able to see yourself at the top of the search engines. But until the phone starts ringing and new patients are coming in, you know, really haven't accomplished much from a new patient growth perspective. So what we do with our call tracking report is we put a unique phone number on your website, and it rings to your practice just like it always has. But what that does is it gives us the ability to say on a weekly and monthly basis exactly how many phone calls came into the organization. And through recorded lines, we'll be able to have you log in and listen to those conversations. So you'll be able to, at the end of each week or at the end of each month, see, okay, well, I got 67 inbound calls, and it sounds like from those 67 inbound calls, we got 32 new patients, right? And that's where I really feel this program helps you not just grow, your internet presence, not just grow your traffic, but really grow your practice. And it also gives you some insights, since you can hear those recordings as to how your staff is handling the calls. And a lot of our clients are finding that there's room for improvement in the way that the calls are being handled, the way that questions are being answered. And by doing that as well, it really helps to improve the conversion of inbound calls to patients in the practice. So that's just a high-level overview of our program. Just to recap, it all starts with your website. We're going to take over the website, optimize the existing pages, and build out new pages for each one of your services and in each one of the little cities that you attract patients from. From there, we're going to get proactive with link building by claiming all your online directory listings, making sure that you've got a name, address, and phone number profile that's consistent across the web, researching the competition, and creating content on an ongoing basis that helps you get more inbound links than your competition, which ultimately helps you outrank those competitors. And then leveraging social media, sending an email out to your customers after service, thanking them for their business, asking for that review that's going to help you place better in Google Places, and then systematically adding fresh content and information to your social media profiles and touching your customers on an ongoing basis. I hope you found this video insightful. I hope it gives you a real strong understanding of what we bring to the table and how this is going to help you take your practice to the next level. If you're interested, if after seeing this you feel like, this is the program for my practice, I really want to implement this and I'd like to do it, I'd encourage you, give me a call. You can reach me directly at 866-610-4647.